Very good morning. Thank you very much for coming for the Worldwide E-Learning Campus online courses. We are very thankful to our government that have played all of its roles to help all institutions to start e-learning programs. This is the only one option that we are having actually with the COVID-19 pandemic. We have an opportunity of introducing David, who is going to start as our e-learning lecturer, who is going to provide the course. Here also we are with the deputy principal, Dr. Sosco Console, and I will encourage everyone to use the phone because sometimes they may be having some difficulties. Some people may join, but later on they may leave because of the internet connectivity. But the better thing is that the whole material is into our e-learning portal. The students can reach out and download the material and read even on their own paces. And also the assignments have been submitted into the system. So if you get disconnected, don't worry, you are going to find the resources into the system and you can read. If you do not understand, we are encouraging you to use the phone. So Mr. David, yes, thank you very much for your coming. You can start this course and make sure that in 45 minutes, if possible, you can be providing the course. And after 2 hours, you close because it is also not good to have more than 2 hours for a session. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning, students. My name is Uwihore David. I'm a lecturer of web application development. This course is mainly composed by HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and PHP. So we are starting from HTML, tags, and elements. The programming, it is like a game. If you don't practice, you will not be a programmer. So make sure you have your Sublime text or Notepad. You can use it to write your tag and make some documents. So HTML is used to make web pages. A web page, it is an electronic document formatted with HTML. So with web pages, you can make a website. So that is why we say a website, it is a collection of connected web pages. Now, we are starting from tags. Tags, they are like codes. They are like HTML codes. HTML codes. We use those tags to make those web pages. Now, what is HTML now? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and it is the most used language to write web pages. To make web pages, we use Hypertext Markup Language, which is HTML. What is a hypertext? A hypertext, it is any text which is having hyperlinks. Hyperlinks, they are connections to other pages. A page is having a link to other pages, and we call it a hyperlink. So this language, this markup language, we call it HTML. It is used to make web pages, and those web pages, when they are consolidated, when they are interconnected, they make websites. So hypertext refers to a way in which web pages, HTML documents, are linked. They are those connections to web pages. As its name suggests, HTML, it is a makeup language, which means you use HTML to simplify, to simply make up a text document with tags that tells a web browser how to structure it to display. So it is a makeup language. It means it is used to beautify a web page. Whatever you want to do in a web page, you have to use HTML tags. So it is a makeup language. Originally, HTML was developed with the intent of defining the structure of a document like headings, paragraphs, lists, and so forth to facilitate the sharing of scientific information between researchers. Now, HTML is being widely used to format web pages with the help of different tags available in HTML. Now, you can make any web page. At the beginning, HTML was used to do simple tasks like providing headings, some paragraphs, lists, and so forth. Now, whatever you want to do on a web page, you can make it by using the HTML. So, HTML structure is provided here. So we have a HTML simple web page made by HTML. So we have tags. Tags, they are these codes we use to make a web page, an HTML page. So we have HTML tag. It is opened and it is closed at the end. It is the tag. It is the main tag which indicates that we are in HTML. It means it indicates that we are making a web page. So inside HTML tags, we put all other tags we need. So it means when we are making a web page, so we need some tags. All tags we need, they are put inside HTML tag. So after HTML tag, we have head tag. Head tag is used to format the title of the web page. So when you want to make a title, you need to put it in head tags, and specifically you need a title tag. You need a title tag. You open a title tag and then you put your title, and then you close your title tag. So after head tag, we have body tag. Body tag, it is where we put our content. So you know that our website always have a content. So to provide that content, we need to put the content inside the body tag. So we have many types of tags which are put inside the body tag. For example, here we have H1. H1, it is a tag which is used to make headings. A heading H1, we have, it means heading 1. We can also have web heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, heading 5, and so on. So we shall see headings in details later. So we have P, which means paragraph. Whenever you open P tag, it means you are opening a new paragraph. You open it, you put your paragraph content, and then you close it after putting the entire content. This is the output of our codes, of our tags. So the heading, you can see heading 1 is bigger and bolder, and document content goes here. It means it is a simple text you put in paragraph. we put in the paragraph tags. So HTML tags now. As told earlier, HTML is a markup language and makes use of various tags to format the content. We use those tags to make our content of our web page. These tags are enclosed within angle braces. So we are having braces, opening angle brace and closing. Okay, also you can call it a less than symbol and a greater than symbol. So a less than symbol is to start and a greater than symbol is to end. So a tag opening tag is between those symbols. So except G tags, most of tags have their corresponding closing tag. For example, HTML tag is opened here, and it's closing tag, you can see it. So we add a forward slash to indicate that we are ending the tag. We have also a body tag which is opened, and we have a body tag which is closed. So we have so many tags. Most of tags are opened and they are closed after putting their content inside between opening and closing tag. We have a doc type which shows the document type. This tag defines the document type and HTML version. So we have HTML tag, which this tag encloses the complete HTML document and mainly comprises of document header, which is represented by head. So we have document header. Inside the header, we put a title. So document header is represented by head tag, which is opened. Then between head tag, we put title tag, and then we close head tag. And the document body, which is represented by the body tag, which is opened. Inside it, we have to put the content, our content, and then we close the body tag. So we also have head. This tag represents the document header, which can keep other HTML tags like. So inside we can use we can also nest some tags. For example, in header tag, we also put title tag. Title tag is between the head tag. So we have title tag. The title tag is used inside the head tag to mention the document title. We have body tag, which represents the document's body, which keeps other HTML tags like h1, div, p, etc. So most of our tags we use to create our web page are put inside the body tag. So here we have examples h1, div, p, and so on. So we have h1. It is also a tag which is used to create headings. We have seen heading on previous slide. We have P, which is used to represent a paragraph. So let us start from heading tag. Any document starts with a heading. You can use different sizes for your headings. HTML also has 6 levels of headings which use elements like H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. So these are elements. So an element, it is an opening and a closing tag. We have a tag and an element. They are most of the time used interchangeably, but there is a slight difference. So an element, it is an opening and a closing tag makes one element. So while a tag, we have an opening tag, we have a closing tag. Between opening and closing tag, we have the content. So those are tags, but element from an opening to a closing tag, we have one element. So we have headings, heading 1, heading 2. Heading 1, H1 is used to represent heading 1. H1 for heading 1, H2 represents heading 2, H3, heading 3, H4, heading 4, up to H6, which represents heading 6. When you're displaying any heading, browser adds one line before and one line after the heading. So the intention of this line is to separate the content so that the content are not. So HTML codes. Whenever we have codes on the slide, you have to open your text editor. So to create your HTML document, to create your website, to create your web page, you always have to use a text editor. A text editor, it is environment we use to write our HTML codes. So you have to open a text editor. It can be a Sublime Text. It can be a notepad. We have many text editors. So you have to open your text editor and type the same. You will run it and see the output, the result. If you save it on somewhere in your computer, and then after you will open it, when you save it, you have to put the .html extension. So to indicate that it is a web page, you have to put a .html extension, and then after to run it, so you will go where you have saved it, and then you right click on it, open it with any browser. So you have to use any browser to open and view the result of your document. So the result will be as displayed by our screen. We have heading 1, it is bigger. Heading 2, it is also big, but smaller than heading 1. We have heading 3, which is smaller than heading 2. Heading 4, 5, and the smallest heading 6. This is the result after you type your codes. You will run. You will open you will open your document with a browser, and you will see this result in your browser. So this is a paragraph tag. P tag is used to represent a paragraph tag. So the P tag offers a way to structure your text into different paragraphs. Each paragraph of a text should go in between an opening P and a closing P tag, as shown below. So we have our program that is visible. So we have basic tags. We have introduced basic tags. Any HTML document should have most of these tags. It should have an opening HTML tag and a closing HTML tag, an opening head tag and a closing head tag, opening title tag and a closing a body tag and a closing body tag. So we have P paragraphs here. So we have P tag, which is being used to create a paragraph. So you will write them like this, and you will save it as we said by putting a .html extension, and then you open it by using your browser. You will see always the output, the result. Line break tag. BR tag, it is whenever you use BR tag, opening and closing the BR tag element, anything following it starts from the next line. It is like a new line or new line in C, end line in C++, and so on. Each programming language has its way of putting the next content on the next line. So for HTML, we use dir. So it is used to put the next the content, any text which follows it will go to the next line. So that is how BR tag is used. So center, we have center tag, it is used to center the content. You can see a centered content here after P tag in the body tag. Can you see in the body tag? So we have P tag, which create a paragraph. We have center tag, which is used. It means the content which is between center, opening center, and closing center tags will go in the center. So you will write these codes and save it by always remember to put a .html extension. And when you open it by using the browser, you will see your result. So the text which is put between center tag will go in the center. We have horizontal lines. Horizontal line, it is used to create horizontal line. Horizontal lines are used visually. Break up section, it is used to break up sections. So you can create your web page, and then you need to create some sections. Okay, so each section is separated by another horizontal line. So you can see where we have put horizontal line on the output. On the output, we have a horizontal line which is drawn. HTML now elements. So an element is defined by a starting tag. If the element contains another content, it ends with a closing tag. So always an element is represented by a starting tag, the content, and an ending tag, where the element name is preceded by a forward slash. A forward slash as shown by the following: starting tag, the content, and an ending tag. So the element name, it is preceded by the forward slash. So we have P element, we have H1 element, we have big element. They are all elements. They are most of the time used interchangeably with tags. They are, you can say a tag or an element, even if there is a small difference. We mentioned it before, but they are used interchangeably. We have seen few HTML tags and their usage, like heading tags, they are here, paragraph tag, and the other tags. We use them so far in their simplest form, but most of HTML tags can also have attributes which are extra bits of information. So a tag can be more useful when it is used with an attribute. An attribute are used to add some extra information on the content formatted by a tag, on the content created by a tag. For example, we can create a paragraph, but when we need to change its color, the text in a paragraph, we need to change its color. For example, we need to make it red, so we need to add a color attribute in the P tag. So attributes are used to add some extra information on the content formatted by a tag. An attribute is used to define the characteristics of an element, an HTML element, and is placed inside an element's opening tag. So it is put inside an element's opening tag. All attributes are made up of two parts. We have a name and a value. Always, you have to remember that attributes. And the attribute is always composed by a name and a value. So an example, if you want to put a color, you have to mention color, it is red, okay? And so on. So it means you indicate a name and a value. The name is the property you want to set. For example, the paragraph P element in the example. A color is an attribute whose element is aligned. Align attribute is used to set alignment, which you can use to indicate the alignment of a paragraph on the page. So we have also a value. A value for alignment, we can align the text left, right, or center. So it can be an image. An image can be aligned whenever. It can be whatever. So you can align a paragraph left, right, center. So it means left, right, center, they are values of align attribute. We have align as an attribute. We have left as a value of that attribute. So you understand, align can have a value left. It means you want to align your paragraph left. Align can have a value center value. It means you want to align your paragraph in center. So you can also align it in right by using the value right of aligning attribute. So attribute names and attribute values are best sensitive. However, the World Wide Web Consortium recommends lowercase attributes values in their HTML4 recommendations. So most of the time from my programming experience, it is better always to use lowercase letters when you are defining attributes value and attributes name. It is even better to write that in lowercase letters, even if they are not case sensitive. Tags, attributes, name, attributes, the value, they are not case sensitive, but it is better when you use lowercase letters. So the codes are well viewed, displayed when they are in lowercase letters. So we have alignment. We can see how we use the alignment attribute and their values. We are alignment the text left. Next, it is aligned in center, and the last is aligned to the right. So we have our attributes in HTML. We have ID attributes. When we come to CSS, we see that we have ID and we have ID class attribute, title attribute, style attribute. They are the most attributes which are used in HTML to create web pages. So most of these attributes, when they are used together with cascading style sheet, CSS, they make a beautiful web pages. So we will see each attribute and how it is used. the ID attribute of an HTML tag can be used to uniquely identify any element within an HTML page. So it is used to uniquely identify, to distinguish an element from another. That is how it is used. The title attribute, it suggests a title for an element. So you can suggest a title for an image and so on. So a class attribute is used to associate an element with a style sheet. It is the same with ID. Style attribute, it is used to create a CSS. The style attribute allows you to specify cascading style sheet CSS rules within an element. So to beautify an HTML web page, we always need